Mastering reflection is part of a human quest to know and understand our identity. The invention of the mirror is often attributed in Greek mythology to Hephaestus, Greek god of fire and metal. This was a time when looking at one's reflection could mean the losing of one's soul. In a mirror, the right hand becomes the left, and over the centuries, a mirror would become a metaphor for eye-catching deception. It was in Eve's eye, described as the mirror of love, that Adam first learned to know himself. From that encounter, reflection, concentration, self-construction, and reproduction were said to have been born. In antiquity, ladies painted their faces with white lead paint using hand mirrors. The earliest from a cache worldwide of about 3,000 such mirrors dates from 10 centuries before the Christ event. It is Etruscan, a thick disc made of metal alloys to which a small handle was attached by means of 3 rivets. As all ancient bronze mirrors, it was polished to a very high degree on one side to obtain a reflection. Today we associate the mirror with glass. However, it was centuries before metal and glass were brought together to make what we call contemporarily a mirror. From the middle of the 15th century, glassmakers on the island of Murano, just off Venice, made a glass that was pure, white and fine. They called it crystalline because of its similarities to rock crystal, whose transparency and shine it resembled. They improved the process of coating one side with a reflective substance using mercury and tin, arriving at a divinely beautiful, pure and incorruptible object, the mirror. A beautiful and useful invention. In the 16th century, renowned Flemish painter Peter Paul Rubens, 1577 to 1640, painted the Roman goddess Venus as a contemporary lady. He placed her before a mirror, the symbol of truth, it does not lie, that reflects pride, Satan's image, as well as vanity and lust. Oh, she's truly a luscious lady and is wearing, well, nothing at all really, except a gold bracelet decorated with arrows, a sign that Cupid has been endeavouring to use the power of love to disarm her strength. Rubens used the mirror as a symbol of idle dalliance and as an allegory for the battle for her immortal soul. He used pearl earrings to illustrate the darker and lighter sides of passion, the white pearl highly visible, the black pearl teasingly reflected only in her mirror. Mirrors were viewed at this time as fascinating rare objects, and through their lens from that time to this, the material world worked its way well into our consciousness, affecting the way in which we perceive others as well as ourselves. During the reign of Francis Louis XIV, 1638 to 1715, Sir Nicholas de Noailles, son of one of the king's butlers and the tax collector at Orleans, was granted a warrant to establish policies and procedures of a new company. It eventually became the Royal Company of Glass and Mirrors. However, this would not happen before a lot of intriguing, spying on the workers at Murano and other matters of industrial espionage had taken place. The French Comte de Saint-Simon, in his memoirs, described the courtiers and ladies at the court of the Sun King, Louis XIV at Versailles, as a multitude of voyeurs, observing each other's secrets. In 1666, French writer, essayist and philosopher Voltaire wrote, we make glass panels as beautiful as those of Venice, which had previously furnished them to all of Europe. And soon we made some whose size and beauty were never imitated elsewhere. When the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles was presented to the public in 1684, everyone found something to say in its praise. It was a theatre of reflection and artifice. Its mirrors allowed nothing to hide in the shadows. Everyone could admire themselves from head to toe in the radiance of its shimmering surfaces and great bursts of light. Some visitors described it as the architecture of emptiness, reality and reflection supporting each other reciprocally. Mastery over the reflection was only the first stage of a cultural revolution that would influence the relationship between man and his image forevermore. During the 18th and 19th century, the mirror became a virtual field in which an imaginary scenario could be played out. Pleasure was incessantly renewed and excited by new impressions, and mirrors became settings for games of love. The mirror transfigured a scene in order to adorn it with grace and beauty. Reading aloud amongst friends became an extremely fashionable pastime in rooms where large gilded mirrors reflected candles elegantly. It was about enlightenment in more ways than one. In history, the mirror was at first an instrument of social hierarchy and aristocratic ideal. As it became commonplace, it served as a symbol of our equality, feeding a need for recognition. What role will the mirror continue to play in our future, or will we always remain haunted by what is not found within it? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?